Hey, what's up everyone? So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the HK-87 Assassin Droid from the Ahsoka TV show. So of course we saw these guys in The Mandalorian. It's a super cool droid design and I enjoyed them in the Ahsoka show. But this guy right here, it's almost as if someone said to Hasbro, okay, so we're going to use the droids again in the Ahsoka show. There's this red one, so we need you to make a red one. And this is what we got. And of course, this comes in the Galaxy packaging. Star Wars The Black Series up top. Through the window, you can see the figure. He comes with a blaster. Wrong weapon for this guy, but whatever. Here we have Star Wars Ahsoka and HK-87 Assassin Droid. On this side of the box, the front window wraps around, and there's the side with the artwork. It's a great picture. I like it. Wrong weapon, but it's a cool picture. I do love the color for the Ahsoka line. There's a small window on the top and on the bottom, barcode, some mouse print, and some logos. And there's the back of the box. Same picture as the side. You have a rundown of the show in 5 different languages. This droid is number 5 in the Ahsoka line, and you have some more mouse print down there. All right, I'm going to get the HK-87 Assassin Droid open, and let's take a look at him. Okay, so here is the HK-87 Assassin Droid from Ahsoka out of the box, and it's the same figure as the Mando version, right? Just a different paint job. But in this case, it's like this one's unfinished, and it just seems rushed. You know, like a few of the figures in the Ahsoka line, they just seem rushed, like they just had to get them out there while the show was going on. But the fact that they didn't even paint the visor on this one is borderlining on unacceptable, but it is just the wrong shade of red. I mean, this is what he's supposed to look like, right? You guys know, a much flatter red. It's just off. So instead of doing a review on this figure, right, because I've already reviewed the figure, the Mandalorian version, and feel free to check that video out, I'm going to skip doing a review on this one. Instead, I'm going to try to fix him. So I'm going to do a dark wash from head to toe, maybe some silver dry brushing, and see if I can make him a little more screen accurate. So stand by, don't go anywhere, I'll be right back. Okay, so here's how mine turned out, and a big shout out to LandspeederLuke. He has a video on this very same thing, and I will link that video below just in case you haven't seen it. I did pretty much everything he did in his video on this, just minus the matte spray and the heat gun. I don't own either, so I skipped that part. So the initial coat of wash was a little finicky to stick. You know, that's to be expected. But once you get the base coat on and it dries, all subsequent coats will stick a little better. But I think it turned out okay. The wash, of course, darkened him up a lot, front and back. Okay, yes, I did the back, something Hasbro doesn't always do. I did the back and, you know, really highlighted all this in here with the wash to bring out that detail. All this detail now shows up. The detail on the belt is pretty stunning, you know, now that you can see it. All this, you know, turned out pretty well. The wash brought out all the detail in the arms. Yeah, it's like magic almost. You know, just doing a simple dark wash on a figure brings out so much detail. And I went, you know, top to bottom. Okay, so that's what the wash did. It really toned him down. You know, he was just way too red before. And then as far as the dry brushing, I just hit some of the high areas, you know, gave him a scuff right there. Kind of went along the helmet a little bit. Oh, visor. I painted the visor with a toothpick. That was a little tricky, but it turned out okay. I used thinned out black paint. I did probably 3 coats in there, and it did okay. It didn't run too bad. Okay, that's just some of the wash right there. But yeah, the visor turned out okay. I was quite surprised. And then I painted these, okay, to make those show up a little better. That one, the tip of this one, and these two. So this one right here was painted a little bit initially, but this one really wasn't, and this one wasn't. So that looks a little better. But as far as the dry brushing, you know, hit him right there, give him a scratch there. Just brought out some of these high areas. Some on the belt, you know, right there on his belly, here, the shoulder bells. But all this in here with the wash and in combination with the dry brushing really brings out all this detail. And the legs, I hit some of the high spots with dry brushing on the legs, kind of accented those 2 little bits right there. That's what back of the legs looks like. Okay, hit him right there with some dry brushing. And right down to the feet. Okay, I didn't do too much down here, you know, just kind of scuffed up his knees a little bit, put some silver in the joints, and then same thing on the elbows. I hit the elbows with some silver inside the joints, okay, because those move a lot. Those are going to get worn out. So yeah, that is the finished product. I'm pretty pleased. I am pretty pleased with the figure. So I did Mod Podge the ankles, okay, just like my other HK droid. That one is still standing to this day. He has not fallen over once. Now, I know you guys don't live here. You'll just have to take my word for it. But the other one has not fallen once. So we'll see how this guy does. And then moving on to the weapon. So this is the second staff that came with the Magna Guard. Okay, this is pretty similar to what we saw in the Ahsoka show. And all I did with this one was just darken the ends. Okay, that is all I did. I didn't put any paint in the middle just to avoid paint rub in his hands. So I just darkened the ends. Okay, just multiple coats of the same dark wash that I used on him. I just hit that repeatedly, to kind of make it look, a different color. And of course, it kind of bunched up in those crevices, to make it look a little dirty. Okay, so that's what the staff looks like. And I decided just to keep the cape. Okay, this cape really isn't bad. It's not bad. I think it hangs off the shoulder pretty well. Let's see, make sure I don't have it inside out. So let's put his cape on. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. Now, sadly, with the cape, you're not going to see all this now, which is unfortunate because I do like how all that turned out. The wash in combination with the dry brushing really brought out the detail in here. But it is what it is because he does look good with his cape. Oh, come on, stand up, boy. There you go. And as far as the staff, here, let me work on getting the staff in his hand. And there we have it. So I really had to deform the fingers, okay, because this hand is sculpted to hold this, okay. This is much thicker, so I did have to really bend the fingers out a little bit, but it does work. And if I put up this picture, I think it looks pretty good. The wash makes such a difference. It toned down that funky red. All this detail can now be seen. The dry brushing like here on the helmet, these two little high spots there. Everything just looks so much better. I mean, this is what we should have gotten the first time around. So I'm happy. And again, a huge shout out to LandspeederLuke for his video, giving me some inspiration to do this. So thank you very much for that, LandspeederLuke. I appreciate all you do. So I'm going to go stick this guy on the shelf and let's see what he looks like there. And there we have it. And yeah, in this light, that wash really darkened him up. He's almost the same shade as Morgan. I kind of like that. Here, let me move Ezra out of the way real quick. There we go. Yeah, he looks really good. And you can see how he scales. He's actually about the same height as Marok. So he is pretty tall. The staff looks pretty good. But man, that wash just works wonders. The little scuffs show up pretty well. Yeah, that is a night and day difference. Yeah, so overall, I am very pleased with how this turned out. I mean, the wash alone helped tremendously, just to take down that funky red. And then the dry brushing, it just adds another layer of realism, makes him look battle worn, So I'm pleased. I am pleased. And this whole process, I don't know, a couple of hours maybe, doing multiple coats, letting it dry, doing another coat, letting that dry. The dry brushing, you have to be very careful. The visor did take a little bit. I mean, that was kind of tricky getting up in there. And again, I used a toothpick with thinned out black paint. Okay. Not bad. Come on, stand up. There we go. There we go. I am very pleased, but just like always, I want to hear from you guys. So comment below and just let me know what you think of this. And if you enjoy videos on Star Wars The Black Series or customizing, stuff like this, smack like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and don't forget to turn on notifications. I would certainly appreciate it. And I just thank you guys so much for watching. See you all next time.